Mark, have you been anywhere exciting lately?
Yeah, I just got back from a trip to New Zealand.
Wow, New Zealand. That's on my bucket list. What did you go there?
I spent most of my time exploring the South Island. I went hiking in Fiordland National Park. Visited Queenstown and did a road trip along the west coast.
That sounds incredible. What was the best part of your trip?
It's hard to choose, but I think hiking. The Milford Track was the highlight. The scenery was just stunning. Waterfalls, rainforests, and mountain views.
That must have been breathtaking. Did you try any local foods?
Yes, I tried a lot of local dishes. The lamb in New Zealand is fantastic, and I also enjoyed their seafood, especially green lip mussels. Oh, and I loved the pavlova for dessert.
Yum! How was the culture there?
The people were very friendly and laid back. It's a very outdoorsy culture, so you see a lot of people hiking, biking, and just enjoying nature. The Maori culture is also very interesting, and I learned a lot about it during my visit.
Did you face any challenges during your trip?
Not many, but driving on the left side of the road took some getting used to. Also, the weather can be unpredictable, so I had to be prepared for rain even on sunny days.
Any tips for someone planning a trip to New Zealand?
Definitely rent a car or a campervan if you can. It's the best way to see the country. Also, pack layers and waterproof clothing. And make sure to spend time both on the North and South Islands. They each have their own unique attractions.
Great advice. I can't wait to plan a trip there. Thanks for sharing, Mark.
No problem, Emma. Let me know if you need any more tips or recommendations when you start planning.
Traveling Dialogue 2.
Hey, have you traveled anywhere interesting recently?
Yeah, actually, I just got back from a trip to Japan.
That sounds amazing. What cities did you visit?
I spent a few days in Tokyo, then went to Kyoto, and finally, Osaka.
Nice. What did you enjoy the most?
It's hard to pick just one thing, but I loved the food. Sushi in Tokyo was incredible, and I had the best ramen in Osaka. Also, visiting the temples in Kyoto was really peaceful.
I bet. Did you experience any cultural differences that stood out to you?
Definitely, the level of politeness and cleanliness was impressive. Plus, the public transportation is super efficient.
Did you learn any Japanese before going?
I learned some basic phrases, which helped a lot. The locals were really appreciative when I tried to speak Japanese, even if it wasn't perfect.
That's awesome. Any travel tips for someone planning to visit Japan?
I'd recommend getting a junior pass if you're planning to travel between cities. Also, try to go during cherry blossom season, it's beautiful. And don't forget to take off your shoes when entering someone's home or certain traditional places.
Great advice. Japan is definitely on my travel list. Thanks for sharing.
No problem. Let me know if you need any more tips when you start planning your trip.
Traveling Dialogue 3.
Hey Sarah, have you gone on any trips recently?
Yes, I just returned from a trip to Italy.
That sounds fantastic. Where did you go in Italy?
I visited Rome, Florence, and Venice. Each city was so unique and beautiful.
I can imagine. What was the highlight of your trip?
Visiting the Colosseum in Rome was incredible. The history there is just overwhelming. I also loved the art in Florence, especially seeing Michelangelo's David.
That must have been amazing. How was Venice?
Venice was magical. Riding a gondola through the canals was a dream come true. The whole city feels like a different world.
Did you try any local foods?
Oh yes, the food was delicious. I had the best pasta and pizza in Rome. In Florence, I tried a Florentine steak, and in Venice, I had some amazing seafood.
Sounds delicious. Did you encounter any challenges while traveling?
Not too many, but navigating Venice's narrow streets and canals without getting lost was a bit tricky. Also, communicating in Italian was a fun challenge, but most people spoke English and were very helpful.
Any tips for someone planning to visit Italy?
Definitely book tickets to popular attractions in advance to skip the long lines. Also, try to learn a few basic Italian phrases, it goes a long way. And don't forget, too, take some time to just wander and explore. You never know what hidden gems you'll find.
Those are great tips. Thanks, Sarah. Italy sounds like a must visit.
Absolutely. If you ever plan a trip, let me know. I'd be happy to share more details.
Will do. Thanks for sharing your experience.
Traveling. Dialogue 4. What's your favorite travel destination and why? Asterisk asterisk.
My favorite travel destination is Japan because of its unique blend of traditional culture and modern technology. The food, the people, and the scenery are all incredible.
How do you usually plan your trips?
I start by researching the destination online, reading travel blogs, and checking out reviews. Then I create an itinerary, book flights and accommodations, and make a list of must-see places and activities.
What's the most memorable experience you've had while traveling?
One of my most memorable experiences was hiking the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. The breathtaking views and the sense of accomplishment when I reached the ancient ruins were unforgettable.
Do you prefer traveling alone or with others?
I enjoy both. Traveling alone allows me to explore at my own pace and meet new people, while traveling with friends or family is great for sharing experiences and creating lasting memories together.
What's the best piece of travel advice you've ever received?
The best advice I've received is to always have a flexible itinerary. Plans can change, and sometimes the best experiences come from unexpected detours and spontaneous decisions.
How do you handle language barriers when traveling to a foreign country?
I try to learn a few basic phrases in the local language before I go. I also use translation apps and carry a phrasebook. Most importantly, I stay patient and use gestures and body language to communicate.
What's one thing you always pack in your suitcase?
I always pack a portable charger. It's essential for keeping my devices powered up, especially when I'm out exploring all day.
What's a place you haven't been to yet, but really want to visit?
I really want to visit New Zealand. The stunning landscapes, adventure activities, and unique wildlife are very appealing to me.
How do you manage your budget while traveling?
I set a daily budget and track my expenses using a travel app. I also prioritize my spending, focusing on experiences rather than material things, and look for ways to save, like eating at local markets and using public transportation.
What do you think is the biggest benefit of traveling?
The biggest benefit of traveling is gaining new perspectives. It broadens your horizons, helps you appreciate different cultures, and often leads to personal growth and new friendships.
Traveling Dialogue 5. Do you prefer hot or cold destinations?
I prefer hot destinations because I love the beach and outdoor activities.
What's the best souvenir you've ever bought?
A handmade rug from Morocco. It's a beautiful reminder of my trip.
How do you stay healthy while traveling?
I drink plenty of water, eat balanced meals, and try to get enough sleep.
What's the most interesting person you've met while traveling?
I met a local artist in Paris who showed me hidden art spots in the city.
Do you like to travel during peak seasons or off seasons?
I prefer off seasons to avoid crowds and get better deals.
Have you ever had any travel mishaps?
Yes, I once missed a flight due to a time zone mix-up, but it led to an unexpected adventure in a new city.
What's your favorite travel app?
Google Maps for navigation and finding local spots.
How do you decide what to pack?
I check the weather forecast and make a list of essentials based on planned activities.
Do you like to try extreme sports while traveling?
Yes, I've tried bungee jumping and skydiving on my trips.
What's a travel goal you have for the future?
I want to visit all 7 continents.
Traveling Dialogue 6. What's your travel style?
I prefer a mix of adventure and relaxation.
How do you choose your travel destinations?
I look for unique experiences and recommendations from friends.
How do you stay safe while traveling?
I stay aware of my surroundings, keep copies of important documents, and avoid risky areas.
What's your favorite travel activity?
Exploring local food and markets.
How do you deal with jet lag?
I adjust to the local time as soon as possible and stay hydrated.
What's your favorite mode of transportation while traveling?
Trains, because they offer great views and comfort.
Do you prefer cities or nature destinations?
I love both, but nature destinations are more relaxing for me.
How do you keep your travel memories?
I take lots of photos and keep a travel journal.
What's the longest trip you've ever taken?
A month-long backpacking trip through Southeast Asia.
How do you find good places to eat while traveling?
I ask locals for recommendations and check online reviews.
Traveling Dialogue 7. What's the best accommodation you bed stayed in?
A tree house in Costa Rica with stunning views of the rainforest.
How do you keep in touch with family and friends while traveling?
I use messaging apps and video calls to stay connected.
What's your favorite travel book or movie?
Eat, Pray, Love. It's inspiring and captures the essence of travel.
Do you prefer guided tour or exploring on your own?
I like a mix of both, guided tours for historical insights and solo exploring for flexibility.
Have you ever volunteered while traveling?
Yes, I volunteered at an animal sanctuary in Thailand. It was a rewarding experience.
How do you handle travel stress?
I take deep breaths, stay organized, and try to go with the flow.
What's your go-to travel snack?
Trail mix. It's healthy and easy to carry.
Have you ever learned a new skill while traveling?
Yes, I took a cooking class in Italy and learned to make authentic pasta.
What's your strategy for avoiding tourist traps?
I research lesser-known attractions and ask locals for recommendations.
How do you choose travel companions?
I travel with friends or family who have similar interests and travel styles.
Traveling Dialogue 8.
What's the most beautiful natural landscape you've seen?
The fjords in Norway are absolutely breathtaking.
Do you collect anything from your travels?
I collect postcards from every place I visit.
Have you ever had a language mix up while traveling?
Yes, I once ordered the wrong dish. In a restaurant in Spain, but it turned out to be delicious.
What's your favorite travel-related quote?
Not all those who wander are lost. J.R.R. Tolkien.
How do you deal with long layovers?
I use the time to explore the airport, catch up on reading, or plan my next activities.
Do you use travel insurance?
Always, it provides peace of mind. In case of emergencies.
What's the best travel deal you've ever found?
I found a round-trip flight to Iceland. For under $300.
How do you document your travels?
I keep a blog and take lots of photos to share with friends and family.
What's your favorite type of cuisine you've tried while traveling?
Thai food, especially the street food. In Bangkok.
How do you stay fit while traveling?
I walk a lot, try local outdoor activities, and do quick workouts in my room.